everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday live broadcast and our 1 year anniversary celebration of our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. Thank you so much for jumping in with us today. And if you've been with us this past year, thank you so much for being part of this amazing community. This community would not be what it is today if you weren't here with us and were willing to embark on everything that we're sharing here and everything that we're doing to help improve not only our own lives, but the lives of the women around us. So I appreciate each and every one of you and thank you so much. Today, we are going to talk about training our brain and how training our brain can really help us get to that level of success that we're hoping to get at in just about every aspect of our life. But of course, here we do talk about that in reference to changing our health and overall wellness and what it is that we're looking forward to as we start to age or as we're aging and we want to regain some of the things that we feel like we are losing. Very quickly, I would like to invite you to hit that subscribe button if you're joining us on YouTube, or if you're joining us on Facebook, please take a second to hit that like button so you will be notified when we go live and or upload new content. And then I always ask that you please leave a message while you're either joining us live or if you're jumping in on the rebroadcast, letting me know that you are here, sharing a little bit about what it is that brought you to this platform, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook, and if you have taken one of our courses before or if you're enrolled in a future course. Quickly, I'd like to just introduce myself. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutritional plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. Here in this community now, we are doing that through the practice of intermittent fasting and living a keto-like lifestyle, while we're also doing things like training our brain and sort of reprogramming ourselves and letting go of some of the things that we've done in the past and really changing the way we're thinking about how we're living our life, what we're doing to ourselves, and how we incorporate nutrition into our bodies, and really how we can empower ourselves to make the changes that we really want to make for ourselves, regardless of what is going on outside of maybe our own sphere of influence. So today we're going to talk specifically about training our brain. And I have 5 little tips I'm going to share with you and some things that you can start incorporating in your life that will really help you reprogram your brain and help that brain come along with all the things that you're hoping and aspiring to have or want to be in your life, and how when you train your brain, then everything else just sort of follows suits and just kind of follows along for the ride. And we talked a little bit about that on Monday when we talked about how if you can convince your brain to do something, then you could pretty much convince your body to follow along. And I talked a little bit about some of my own personal experiences. So if you didn't catch that yet, make sure you catch Monday's broadcast as well. So the first thing that you can do to really train your brain, or maybe retrain your brain into a different way of thinking, is just by creating positive associations. Now, we in our family here we're big on personal development, we're big on positive affirmations, we're big on seeking out positive influences in our life to keep us really associated with positivity. It is really easy to get caught up in the negativity. It's easy to get caught up in the water cooler talk. It's really easy to get caught up on the bandwagon of all the hum and drum that's going on in the world. And we don't have to live in that space. And it's really a decision that we make to a positive space. And so creating those positive associations is sometimes what we have to do. We have to actually put the act in, put the physical part of creating something so that we have what we want, if maybe what's naturally falling into our life is not positive. And a really great way to do that is in a community like this. Having a community of like-minded people who are either on the same path that you are on, or want to be on the same path that you want to be on, or have already created a path for you to jump on and just follow along. And that is what I love about community support, especially a community of strong, empowered women who are really willing to put the work in to make some positive changes for themselves. So if you don't have that type of environment, then and you're here watching this, then you are making a great start in making some changes, because that is exactly the community that we have developed here. Everyone is super positive, we are supportive, and we know exactly what you're going through because we've either been there before or we're on the same journey that you are about to embark on. So creating those positive associations and having a community of like-minded people is really that first step in changing your thoughts or your actions or some of the habits that you have in your life, because you're going to end up going with the flow. And it's super easy to go with a negative flow, but it's just as easy to go with a positive flow. You just have to train your brain to stay in that lane. So creating positive associations is the first thing that you can do to change your brain, or to train your brain to think positively, to do positive things, and to stay in that positive lane so that you can empower yourself to make the changes that you want. The second area is reframe your perspective. And a really great way to reframe your perspective is to just be present. Like, be present wherever you are. And I talk a lot about this when I talk about sitting down to have a meal, or what you're doing with your nutrition, or even what you're doing in the aspect of changing things physically or your physical fitness. It's really easy to make some significant changes in what you're doing in the area of physical fitness if you have the mind to body connection. So your mind is connected to everything that your body is doing. Well, the same thing should hold true when we are engaging in a nutritional experience. We should be in the present. We should be conscious about the decisions that we're making. We should be making decisions and not making mistakes. If you consciously enter into a situation and you know what you're about to do, then there's no possible way you can make a mistake, because you just made a decision. And as grown women who have had experiences in this world and who are mature, when you make a decision, you have to own it. So you can't make mistakes. You just did something. And that really does help frame your perspective when you are in that moment, when you're living it as it's happening, you're conscious and you are present. And this holds true in relationships. It holds true with our financial situation. It holds true with every aspect of our life that we want to be good, and the aspects of the life that we want to value. Be present, and that will help change your perspective. Another tip about changing your perspective is be interested, and don't always try to be interesting. So, we always are so eager to tell what's going on in our life, and we're always so eager to share what we have going on, and we often forget that being interested in someone else can also change our perspective. And just consciously listen to what other people are sharing with you. And here in this community, it's really important to be interested, because there are so many women who are sharing what it is they're suffering from, and what it is they're going through, and how it is they're healing their body. And that really is where we can go back to that step one and create those positive associations, and knowing that you're not alone. And if we just listen to some other people's experiences and take them in and consider what that could do for our lives, then that is a tool that we can use to create those positive changes as well. And then when you're with people, again, that's that time that we want to be interested and not interesting. Put some value in some other people, and take the attention and the pressure off of yourself, and that will really help you open up your mind into changing your perspective about how you look, see, and feel certain situations in your life. And then the third tip about training your brain to stay in that positive and make those positive changes for yourself is being intentional in your life. And that goes back to that thing that I just said about making conscious decisions. And if you're making conscious decisions and you're asking yourself the right questions before you dive into a situation, or before you put yourself into a predicament, or before you make a decision about anything, then you're doing it very consciously. And if you're doing things consciously, then you have to own those decisions that you make, and then you can own those experiences that you have. And you own it when you do it with intention. So you don't want to haphazardly make decisions about changes that you're making in your life, because you want to make sure that when you do make that decision and you do commit to something, that you are sure that is where you want to go, and you're going to be able to handle the results or the consequences on the other side of that decision. So we want to stop letting life happen to us, and we want to start embracing life and empowering ourselves to create the life that we want to have. And so we want to be in control of the life that we have, and we don't want to be the victim of circumstances. And the only way we can do that is if we're living our life intentionally. And then I think we're on the fourth tip, the fourth tip is ask why often. So why are you doing this? Why are you feeling that way? Why are you acting that way? Why do you say those things? Or why do you let things happen to you? And when I'm doing consult calls with women, and we're doing like either nutritional talks or we're talking about why it is we're sabotaging ourselves, I go through a series of why questions, trying to get to that deep seated thing that's holding someone back. And the thing about nutrition or dieting or exercise is that we don't take it in deeply enough. It's always sort of a surface level experience that we go through when we don't ask ourselves the series of why questions. And when I was really sick a couple of years ago and I was sort of fed up with everything, and I was just convinced that this was the best way my life could be and that I was just going to have to deal with it, that was a time when I was really feeling sorry for myself and I wasn't associating with what I was going through and where I needed to be with my why. And once I connected that why to me and why it was I could not settle for being sick, and why I couldn't settle for not having any energy, and why I couldn't settle for feeling so bad about how my body was changing, when that why became personal to me and it became emotional to me and it became connected to me, then I had no other option but to go after what I wanted with the changes in my life, with my health, with my energy, with my fitness, with my physique, with my brain, and all the brain problems and memory problems that I was having. I didn't want to settle for that being the best case scenario for myself. But I had to go through a series of why questions: why I wanted to have my memory, why I wanted to have my energy, why I wanted to be confident in my own skin, and why it was I couldn't be sick going into the second stage of my life. And once I connected that why emotionally to myself and to the people in my life that I care about, then I had no other option but to make positive changes for myself. So if you find yourself struggling, or you find yourself feeling stuck, or you find that you keep quitting on yourself, I promise you it's because you haven't asked enough why questions yet. And once you get to that why that will hit that emotional chord with you, that'll be the day that you stop letting yourself down, and that'll be the day that you stop failing on the things that you say that you want to have for yourself. So you have to ask yourself enough why questions to make that emotional connection with whatever it is that you want to change. And then once that why connection is made emotionally, your brain will be trained to take you right where you need to go. And then the last part is plan ahead. We want to make sure that we care enough about ourselves that we're giving ourselves the time that we need to be successful. I know this is especially important to women who are busy and women who are moms. So if you're a career woman and you're trying to take care of yourself and you have a community of people that you're trying to take care of, oftentimes the person that suffers in the caregiving part or the caretaking part is ourselves. We take care of everything and everybody else first, and we're always the ones who have the burnt toast, so to speak. And that really needs to stop. We need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves first and foremost so that we have what we need to take care of others. And this is really why a lot of women, I think, start to break down as we get to that stage where our kids are growing up and they no longer need us anymore and they're moving out of the house, and then we're left, sort of empty. And that's because we haven't really been taking care of ourselves this whole time. And so it's not selfish. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you a bad woman. It doesn't make you a bad wife. It doesn't make you a bad mom. It makes you a great person when you take care of yourself first. And if you take care of yourself first, then you lovingly and generously and very healthily can take care of the people that you care for, the job that you have, the home that you live in, all of the other aspects of your life that you also value will become secondary, but they will also become better once you take care of yourself first. So never be afraid to take care of yourself first. My screen keeps popping off for some reason. Oh no, Kara, did I just lose everybody on Facebook? I think I might have. Let's see. Hold on just a second, YouTube. I think my internet just popped off. Let's see. Kara, send me a message and let me know if Facebook popped off. So I'll keep talking to you guys, YouTube, and maybe everyone can jump over there. So plan ahead was the final step. And so if we pull all of these steps together, and I'm going to go through my notes again to make sure I get them in order. If we create positive associations, so we have a community of like-minded people who are going to be there to support and to love on us and help us get through what it is that we need to get through, then we have those people that will carry us through and will pick us up when we fall. So the first step to really training your brain is to make sure that you are with people who are like-minded. They are talking the talk that you talk. They're walking the walk that you walk. They're associating with the same people that you're associating with, and they're engaging in the same activities that you're engaging in. And if we can have those things, I don't know what happened. Then if we can have those things, that will be the first step to training our brain. And that's just creating those associations that are going to keep us positive. We want to reframe our perspective. We want to be present in what it is that we say we're caring about, and making sure that if we're going to engage in time with someone and we're going to give someone our time, that we are present with them and give them 100% of us. We want to make sure that we are just as interested in others as we want to be interesting. And then we want to be intentional with our life. We want to stop blaming other outside factors for things that have happened to us in the past or things that are happening to us currently. And we really want to take ownership of the life that we have, and we want to design our life the way we want our life to be. And then we want to ask ourselves a series of why questions to make sure that we get to that deep-seated emotional why. When we can get to that deep-seated emotional why, and we're emotionally connected to whatever it is that we're trying to do, our brain will follow suit. And our brain, all the hormones associated with that emotion that's connected to that why will be triggered, and that will help keep us on course and will help our brain keep our body in the positive forward moving motion that we want it to be in. And then we want to plan ahead. We want to make sure that we're allocating enough time for ourselves so that we can take care of ourselves before we take care of others. A broken, beat down, ungrateful feeling or unappreciated feeling woman is a woman that can do no good for anyone else. And if we break to the point where we get sick, then we're absolutely no good to anyone else, and we never want to put ourselves in that type of position. And the best guard against that is taking care of ourselves first. So we pull all these things together, and then we get our brain in that frame of mind where we are empowered and unstoppable. And that is really what we are creating in this amazing community of women here. For Today's Aging Woman was designed with these principles in mind, really allowing each and every woman that spends time here with us to be able to practice those 5 steps, to really be able to take some time and consider what it is that we want for ourselves, and realizing that we don't have to settle for what we may currently be suffering through, that we have the power, we have the energy, we have the drive to make decisions for ourselves that will take us to that next best level. And by no means, regardless of what age you're in, what season of life that you're in, what circumstances that you're currently facing, do you ever have to settle for anything that's less than what you want. And we have been proving that this last year in this amazing community of women who've jumped in with us. We've had some great testimonials come through. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to share with you a couple of testimonials that some women have shared with us, and they've allowed us permission to share what it is they felt about what they've gone through in this course over the last year. So I'm going to summarize a couple of them because I don't want to sit here and read to you guys for the next half an hour or so. But I'm going to share with you what it is that is probably been most influential to a lot of these women that have come through our course. And the first one that I'm going to share with you is from someone who just finished our March course, and I love what she had to say. She said, "This is a 5-star course. I've recommended it to several friends." Again, that's creating that association of like-minded people. So now she's bringing in some friends that she can share on this journey with as well. Diane delivers research and insights that inspire new habits. Every lesson is packed with cutting edge info and delivered in a supportive, comfortable format, which is great because there's so much to learn. I've been listening to all the lessons several times in order to make permanent change. The Facebook group is fun, the personal Q&A is bonus, and sharing the journey with other like-minded women, again, that community, is truly empowering. A big thank you to Diane, Michael, and Kara. And that's a pretty common response that we get from women who have taken our course, because all of the things that I share here and these live YouTube and Facebook formats are really what we drive into our course. We want to make sure that when you jump into a course with us, that we give you all the tools that you need to have everything that you want for your life. It's not just about weight loss. It's not just about what your body looks like, or what size jeans you wear. It is truly starting from the core of who we are as women and what it is that we want to have for our life. And it just so happens that when you look and feel your best and you're living your most authentic life, it is because you have dialed in a nutritional plan and a lifestyle for yourself that does allow you all of the things that we want for ourselves when we are looking and feeling our best. And then all of the other things are just byproducts of all the energy and actions that you've taken place. And it all starts here in our brain, making sure that our brain is trained to think in a way that those habits and the actions that we're going to take are actually going to fall into place. And then I'm going to read another one if you guys don't mind. And this is from Adina in our March course as well. While still very early in my healing process, it has been liberating to be free from the idol of food. Stomach is being dethroned. Physically, I have enormous amounts of energy and am more stable emotionally. I have previously followed nearly every food plan out there, and it is amazing to not focus on food and counting. I'm in the process of becoming free to focus on living my best authentic life. This course has set me on the path to definitely discover exactly what that means for me. Thank you, Diane. And so I wanted to share a couple of those comments because the thing I think that women forget, or we don't think about, we don't allow our brain to go to this place, is that we have been so victimized, I guess, in a sense, to believing that we have to follow someone else's way of living our life. And that really does make us fall short. That makes us fall short of us allowing to be our best when we do blindly follow a plan that someone else has developed that never takes us into consideration. And we're never really asked to associate what it is that we do on a daily basis with our food or our nutrition and how that makes us feel. And when we really become conscious and in the moment and we're present in everything that we're doing and we're considering all of these aspects of our life, we can really focus on something that we're doing that is not making us feel our best. And then we can question the why. Why are we doing this repeatedly? Why am I going down this path again? Why am I going to allow my brain to think this way when I really want to think and live this way? And we really do have to go through the process of kind of reprogramming ourselves. And the 5 tips that we talked about today will really get you there. If you'd like to get a little worksheet that we've put together to kind of take you through the 5-step process of training your brain, here on YouTube, there will be a link posted when this live broadcast gets permanently placed on my YouTube channel. So please come back and make sure that you like the video and then download the link for yourself to go through this little worksheet that we put together for you. And if you're watching this on Facebook, if you just put notes in the comment section, then you can have a link sent to you that will provide you this download as well. So I am so appreciative that you guys have been with us for this past year. 2017 was fantastic in the community of For Today's Aging Woman, and I promise you 2018 is going to get so much better. We're currently working on some new things for this community to share with you. We've added Michael, my husband, to this process, and he is doing some sharing on Facebook on Fridays with our IF Keto Family Life Facebook page, where we're incorporating information for our husbands and our uncles and our brothers and our our friends on the male perspective of what's going on. We're going to start incorporating some family life stuff. We are working on our level 2 course that will be launching hopefully in the next 30 days. So for those of you who are feeling like you're really comfortable with your intermittent fasting and your keto-like lifestyle and you want to start incorporating some second level steps, we will be launching a course for that in the next 30 days too. So thank you for being with us here this past year. We are so appreciative of you. I know Kara, myself, and Michael have loved the relationships that we have developed here in this community. We love the support that each and every one of you have given to other women who have jumped in this community as well. And we continue to bring that enthusiasm, that support, and that love as we move on through 2018 and beyond. And our mission is truly to help as many people as we can look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. Thanks for jumping on today, you guys. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me via email, or you can leave me private messages. I will get back to them as soon as I can. And just keep in mind that our April 7th anniversary course will be launching on April 7th. So April 7th is our next course. Make sure you get yourself signed up for that. And then I will see you somewhere on social media this weekend or inside of our course starting this weekend. Have a great day.